Hi, come over here and see my little decorative monkey here. He's not so little, in fact. He is just a really interesting piece. He has a great patina to it, shiny ears, shiny edges in the bowl. This is a ceramic monkey, great welcome piece. I can see lots of actually decorative stores having this by their entry or cash register, putting the business cards in and just having this as their piece. So imagine this in someone's home with fruit or flowers. There are so many great uses for this, and this just is a really interesting piece. We also have this here as another one of our sculptures. This has also all of the ends to it that are finished. Okay, and that's the concept here, is that it shows the welding marks and the finishing pieces, you know, on it, and you can see.
In fact, it highlights it, the marks.
It also on the inside may show the little fragments of nails, because in order they were trying to secure it more secure. So it may have little nails that are tucked in there that people will see, but it's also part. This one doesn't have it.
Okay. And then on the bottom, it's just finished here with a rubberized again base so that it doesn't, you know, hurt the counter. So again, another really interesting decorative piece. In front here we have some candles. We wanted to get into the covered candle business, and so we fell in love with this actual jar, which originally wasn't a candle, and we said, hey, you know, can we do this with a scented candle in it? So we picked 3 different scents on it that are really nice, and the covered jar. And I would not be sitting there pulling it like this. These are beaded, okay, and so they don't, you know, these are metal pieces that are meant to hold things tight. And so again, when you pull it, this is how you pull it. Okay, for some of you that had challenges, I know there were some sample questions, you know, on it. This is 3 different colorings. Okay, the silver, the platinum, and the gold, and each one has a different fragrance in it. Then back here, we're doing some new picture frames that have, again, a very kind of anthropology, I'll use that term, where it has some of this enamel painting that has really interesting texture to it. And then these are meant just to be really old looking. Okay, so you can see the first of all, so these could be hung or stand. That's just as a note for you. Okay, they horizontally or vertically, and again they have a very old world finish to them. And we're selling this as a set of 3 right here. So
this is one of those items that's going to be in the line 5 years from now.
Yeah, it really is classic, and again, I just love the old feeling to it. Here we have a set of 5 mirrors, okay, and this is meant to show really, you know, I could see in a store window 25 of these, all just kind of you know, sprinkling out. The back is just simply painted, okay, here, okay, and so they hang pretty easily. A set of 5 here. Okay, then we have on the next page.
This is exciting.
We have a new chagrin. This is a platinum color, and it really is an interesting pattern. Okay, to the. Hopefully you can see the nuances of this. It's a black silver finish to it. The frames have the velvet on it, so they're really nicely finished. They stand horizontally or vertically, and so we're selling the frames as a 5x7 and a 4x6 set. Then we have this very large tray here. It's a 24-inch square tray. Again, one of those cocktail table trays. You could serve on it. You could, you see the back, how beautifully they're finished. So this is a really great construction and feeling to it. We also here have a jewelry box, or an anything box, or a remote box, anything you want to put in it. Again, I'm just going to pick this up and just show you. The back actually has a gray velvet to it, and it really and a metal top. This is a stainless steel metal top to it. Okay, and it's just a really nice feeling. And the last item there is a mirror. It's about 24 inches in diameter. Okay, I'll just try try to pull this up here. Okay, the back again, like all the mirrors with the chagrin, have a really good solid back and hanger on it. And this is just a really nice shape. Okay, and again, we tried to pick this pattern we loved because it was so neutral. This is a gray sheen, really interesting, piece to it. Then we're going to go back to a little history again. We have another Laocoon bust. Okay, this is meant to look like marble, but it's actually resin. And it really, when you look up close, amazing. You really can't tell the difference. You really would think, even if you pick this up, you may think this is marble. Actually, you wouldn't, because it's somewhat light. But it surprises you when you go and touch it. I mean, you would think this is really marble, and the workmanship in the resin is actually wonderful. So here we have Roman times, and then here we have back to ancient Asia with some 3 dynasty ladies, Tang Dynasty, and again, I think the finish is peeling off as I touch it. That's what's supposed to happen. So don't touch it, okay? And you can see that the whole finish to this lady is meant to feel and look like it's an actual historical piece. And that's the real great things about when you buy, a lot of these older historical pieces from us. In front of that we have a skull, okay, also made out of resin, and also really looks interesting and cool, and we show some of the joint lines, and not everybody's into having skulls as decorative pieces, okay, but we think that many people are, and it's a really interesting piece. We have our hand magnifier. It's a beautiful quality. This is made out of a metal and resin material, and looks like also like it's carved out of bone and horn. So that's a really interesting piece. Then we have our medallions that are for the wall. Okay, these are sold as a set of 3 and look really interesting. Well, I'm going to pick up the middle size so you kind of get a feeling, about how big it is. Okay, and the back is very easy to hang. It has the hanger right there, for you. Has a really nice matte finish. Makes it look like real sculpted marble. Up front here we have some new wall mirrors with out of the MOP, and we wanted to get big and bold. And so we have here our, thank you. We have here, this is probably about a 48-inch diameter. If you take a picture of the Profile Z, you'll see all the different bars here. And so it's a really, certainly nice piece on the back. It's finished really, really nicely. Hopefully you can see that. So it's a nice, big, heavy piece. Again, trying to get, and for those that don't want it as big, then we have here our rectangle mirror here. Okay, and it actually can stand for a second by itself. And for my next trick,
that's how wide it is. Yeah.
So what you can see, it's about 1.5 inches. So you see this profile. I could see these also done in some type of installation. When you look from the front, you can see 4 of these really stacked as a set of 4. So that's an opportunity, for you that you can have. And then that goes into our next grouping. Thank you. Sorry everybody with the video. Into our next grouping, which is our whitewash wood. And we had a really good response to this collection.
That's beautiful.
This is wood that has us whitewash again in that neutral feeling. And so we did a whole collection of this. This talks about the chain concept as being a great accent. And we have 3 different mirrors that are pictured beautifully in the catalog. This is the smallest one, again with that whitewash wood finish. And then we have these 3 here, and again with a mirror. We have 2 frames, assortment of 2 different frames here. Again, they stand horizontally or vertically. They're finished simply on the back with white. Here's the white profile, but it's this whitewash feeling that we want to really highlight, for you here, that we're excited about. Other items here. We added a gold version to our vase. And then we have our rust version, salt, the shorter one. Coming into the spring, I think that this is a great thing for florists and and people that work with flowers. It's easy for anyone to decorate with. You just drop our flower and you create. Use a multiple of these on the table, and they will go into all different shapes down the table. So we love that it offers a lot of you to be creative, okay, whether you use them in whatever shapes you want to do. Then the last thing I want to go over is our leather. Okay, you're familiar with our leather pillows, the cow leather pillows that are really classics. We have our rugs here that are all stitched in small pieces of real leather, and they're done in sizes of 4x6. We have two colorings, this gray-white coloring, and then the browns coloring. And then we have these picture frames here. These beautiful leather frames here. There's a whole story that they're made of natural leather and how they're done. We have the back. I love this little accent. This is actually vinyl, okay, or faux leather on the back, and real leather on the front. And we're doing them in two different colorings, in the naturals and then in this gray heather color palette. So here we are. That's our collection from Elmsford for Tozai for January 2015. There's so many different directions. There's so many different materials. There's a lot of different types of accounts you can go with. We try to focus on wall decor, on small furniture, on interesting ceramics, glass.
Cross merchandising with some classic twos collections as well.
I think that is key. Also, to pick colors. If you're going with a blue palette, because someone says blue, then mix them together. We are really excited for a fantastic January. I know that a lot of accounts have been waiting for the new Tozai. They didn't have it in October. Go out there and kill them. Thank you very much. Have a great selling.